Hey my beautiful Aquarius peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Ann from CancerMoonsTarot and welcome into your May 2023 tarot reading. How are you? I hope all is well. I just want to mention before we start, if you're interested in personal services, products, and so much more, feel free to check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. It's going to be the first link in the description below. I do want to mention from now until the end of May, there's going to be a 20% off sale on 15-minute personal readings. So if you'd like to get one, feel free to use code POPPIN. That's going to be POPPIN for 20% off at checkout. Much love though, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for tuning in today and spending some time with me. And let's see what's going on here for the Aquarian, okay? What do we got showing up here for Team Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2023. What information is going to be showing up here, please, for the lovely Aquarian gang? What do we got going on here for you? Let's go ahead and check it out. Starting out with your overall energy, we do have here the Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups coming into play here for you. It is a card here that talks about moving your energy forward. I do see for some of you, like I'm hearing like you're taking better strides, like you're moving forward in a good direction. You're looking at something with a more positive attitude potentially, is what I'm seeing showing up here for you. Excuse me for 1 second, Aquarius. Thank you very much. My throat's been a little funky today. But yeah, you're taking good strides is what I see here for you. You're moving good in a positive direction here. Putting your right or best foot forward is something that I'm seeing. I do see here as well, it could be romantic showing up here. So for some of you, you could be taking more romantic action, providing more romantic gestures in your relationship. If you kind of feel like maybe you haven't been the most romantic, maybe you've had a lot of stuff going on, and maybe you kind of see how that's taken a toll on your partner or affected your partner, you could be showing more affection here coming into May as well, being a lot more romantic here to the partner you're dealing with. For those of you that aren't in romantic relationships, that certainly could be an energy showing up here this time too. But looking into your current situation, we do have a Three of Swords coming out. We also have here a Five of Cups, and we have here a Six of Pentacles. Picking up the pieces is what I'm hearing. It's like really where you're at in life. It's like I want to pick up the pieces after going through a really rough time. Three of Swords is the card of heartbreak, but of course it could just be genuine pain from whatever's been happening or occurring within your life. Five of Cups is a card that does represent disappointment, so there could have been some disappointing times you've really endured lately, but you're recognizing in May it's time to pick up the pieces here. I can't let myself break. I can't let myself fall. Nobody can pick me up but me, so I'm going to be that person to pick myself back up and get right back on track. And I love that for you, Aquarius. And I'm sorry for any of the rough or hard, difficult times you've been enduring recently. I know that it's not easy. Life can definitely have its challenges, and the fact that you're here willing to do everything you can to basically pick up the pieces and to get into a much better space is something to be proud of. So not only am I proud of you, but I want you to be proud of yourself, okay? Happy that you guys are working on yourselves here for sure. Having a look into what you need to be aware about this month. Let's have a look at that. We have here the Eight of Swords coming up. All right, next card is going to be here the Wheel of Fortune. We also have here the Fool. And then looking at the last card, Aquarius, we do have here the Devil. I do feel like intrusive thoughts is definitely going to be a pretty big battle that some of you may be facing coming into May 2023. Just a lot of thoughts, a lot of chatter, a lot of anxiety. It's kind of hard to tune out these thoughts. One of the greatest things you can add in addition to your life is meditation. Meditation is definitely something that's very beneficial to calm the mind, to clear the mind. But, you know, what I've learned in terms of overthinking is that sometimes the best thing you can do is let your mind think free. But instead of attaching your emotions to it, detach emotionally to what it is you're thinking about. Instead of giving every thought a reaction, every thought an emotion, let your mind roam free. Because most of the time, when you kind of just let your mind think about what it needs to think about, inevitably, it'll move on to something else. So I find that to be a pretty good method. I'm sure it won't work for everybody, but you might want to give it a try. You might be surprised at how well it works for you. Now, Wheel of Fortune showing up here to the Fool. I think you are going to release a lot here, to be honest. I do feel like your mindset's going to be changing, but I also think that you're actively figuring out healthy methods or like figuring out what works for you to put you more into a space where you can reduce anxiety in your life, you can reduce overthinking, like you're getting things figured out. You know, maybe for some of you, you could be talking to somebody, or maybe for others of you, you're just finding methods that are really starting to work out for you. Because like I said, Six of Pentacles was giving me the vibe of like picking up the pieces, but I feel like you're figuring what you need to do out so that you can get yourself back on track. And you're basically removing yourself from the Devil here. The Fool to the Devil means you're letting go of negativity, the feeling of being trapped, or the feeling of being constantly surrounded by negativity. You know, when we get caught up in a negative energy, it can feel sometimes like it's never gonna end. It's like, oh my God, my life my life feels like I'm in hell, and I feels like I'm never getting out of it. You know, usually when we're in hell, which is basically low vibration, And when we're in high vibration, we're in heaven. When we're starting to feel like we're in hell, we're in a period of time where it feels impossible to escape, but it's definitely manageable and you're definitely able to escape that feeling. So the Fool card here, you're going to be releasing a lot is what I see here overall. Let's have a look here and see what the most important thing is that you need to know coming into this month, okay? What's going to be the most important thing that Aquarius needs to know jumping into May 2023? We have here the Four of Swords. We also had another card come out with it, which is the Five of Swords as well. Yeah, really needing to remove yourself from all the stress, guys. You know, we have a choice every day of what it is we choose to invest our energy into. And we don't have to put ourselves in so many stressful situations. Sometimes we feel like we need to. Sometimes we feel responsible for having to put ourselves in so many stressful situations. For example, if we're dealing with a financially stressful situation, we'll feel responsible to stress out about it until it's resolved. You know, if we're in a rough situation with someone, we may feel responsible until that situation's fixed and everything's good and happy and positive. But I think that sometimes humanity doesn't realize how much pressure we place on ourselves, especially when a lot of the things that we're putting pressure on are things that are beyond our control. Don't get me wrong, in terms of money and finances, do you play a role in your financial stability? Sure, but sometimes it's not that easy to always get a job. It's not that easy to make sure that you're at a job that's paying you well. It's not that easy to manage and afford a lifestyle that suits you, you know? So you're not necessarily in a victim mentality, which is great, but you're also not necessarily in this mentality where you're being forgiving to yourself about some things you just can't control. You know, I do get that vibe here, Aquarius, where it's like, there's so much I should have did better. Maybe I wish I should have did more when I was younger, just so I could feel more happier to where I am today. I think that some of you feel like you missed out on something. Maybe you feel like you missed out on financial opportunities. Maybe some of you feel like you missed out on romantic opportunities or opportunities that would have brought more happiness in your life if you just did something when you were younger. But you can't blame that. You know, you are where you are today for a reason. You know, you're here and right now. And whether you see it or not, everything is going according to plan. Oftentimes when we're going through a rough time, we think that nothing is going to plan, but that's usually right when the universe is making everything wonderful for you and you don't even see it coming just yet. So Aquarius, Five of Swords here, needing to escape the stress, needing to escape the battle. I think that what you really have been wanting to escape is life's challenges. You know, we just had Mercury in retrograde. It's actually going direct today as I'm recording this video. And Mercury in retrograde, of course, is a really rough time for a lot of people. We've also been dealing with a lot of astrological shit in general this year. So I know it's been a bit of a rough year for a lot of people. Even if you're not an Aquarius, it's been a rough year. But, you know, I think that we need to remember life's challenges are just challenges. You know, we've gotten through everything. Every time we thought that we were going through the roughest battle in our life, we've still overcome that battle, right? Isn't that amazing to think about for a second? Every time we thought that that's it, our life is over, but we still made it through, we've made it through every freaking challenge and curveball that life has ever thrown us. So it's like, hey, are you sure this time that you're not going to be okay? Because you're going to be okay regardless. If you were okay every other time you went through some kind of challenge that life handed you. So I know it's been a challenging time, but Aquarius, Four of Swords says you need some rest, guys, okay? Then one of the most important messages I can give you coming into the month of May is making sure that you are resting, making sure that you are taking care of yourself in a mental and physical way. Get more physical rest. Relax your mind more often. If you need to take space from people, go in hermit mode, watch some TV and unfold, or just meditate or whatever works for you. Don't be afraid to incorporate more of that. You know, the more that you add in this calmness of your mind, okay, and the more calm energy that you can start to exhibit, the much more at ease you're going to feel coming into this month. So really focus on reducing stress, guys. Your mental being and your physical well-being is what really needs to be highlighted here coming into the month of May. All right though, guys, moving on forward, what can Aquarius expect here moving on forward throughout the rest of their May 2023, please? Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What can they expect moving throughout the rest of their May reading? We have here the Judgment card. Okay. Next card here is going to be the King of Pentacles. We have here the Eight of Wands, and we also have here the Ten of Cups. Ooh, I like it. So guys, your energy here is definitely shifting, jumping into this month. Judgment here to the King of Pentacles. Judgment here is a choice, right? We have a choice to judge a situation this way, we have a choice to judge a situation that way. We can have a positive perception, a negative perception. The choice is really up to us. I see you starting to realize that the one thing that I need to be accountable for is how I perceive my life and how I perceive my situations. Not every situation needs to be deemed negative, because there's always going to be a positive aspect to every negative situation. So you're starting to change the way you look at things and the way you see your life and the way maybe you see challenges. If obstacles come in, look at the fact that you've always overcome them, and look at the fact of how you can overcome them, right? It's kind of that energy of like, let's not reinforce a problem, let's focus on a solution. So you're definitely changing your outlook on life and the way that you see things. I think that you're bringing in a much more positive energy here at this time, which is really awesome. And that's going to put you in a super relaxed and grounded space. We have here the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is all about being cool, calm, and collected. I'm grounded. Everything's fine. I'm safe. It's about really making sure you're getting your root chakra here in perfect alignment. I would recommend, by the way, Aquarius, if you have been feeling kind of like unbalanced, ungrounded, a really great thing you can do is go on YouTube, type in, these are literally free videos, by the way, type in like root chakra meditation or root chakra frequency or something like that. Listen to those frequencies. They're tuned to help put your root chakra in perfect alignment, and they really help out, especially if you've been super anxious, overthinking. If you haven't felt grounded in life, those are amazing types of frequencies that can help you get reset and regrounded. Another great thing too is that go outside when it's nice out, right? And go for a walk on the grass. If you have grass in the front yard, if you're at a park, of course, be careful at a park. There could be, some stuff on the ground that maybe you don't want to step on, but regardless, try walking barefoot on grass. That actually really helps physically ground you to the earth. And it can help alleviate any sort of pressures or anxieties and things of that nature here too. Okay. But regardless, once you start to look at life with a more positive perspective, you're going to see change. It doesn't happen always immediately or initially, but if you stick at it, guys, if you keep up with looking at life and looking at everything in a positive perception, your world has to conform to positive results. Where the attention goes is where the energy inevitably flows. So where your attention goes, if it goes on to something negative, you're going to keep flowing negative energy into the situation you're dealing with. If you start flowing positive energy into something that you're doing, you can start to expect to attract positive results. So make sure that you keep up on that, okay? Now we have here the Eight of Wands, we have here the Ten of Cups. Yeah, your energy is going to transcend into fulfillment here. So as you're grounded, cool, calm, and collected, all that positivity that you're going to be putting in, jumping into May, is going to start to flow into seeing things in your life in a more positive way too. Let's say, for example, maybe your financial situation's been a little bit stressful and you've been looking at it like it's been the end of the world for you. Maybe look at it a little bit different. Are you able to afford your lifestyle right now? Are you able to still pay for things? Like, that's still a win, right? So look at it from that perspective. And then you might come to realize, maybe I'm not that financially unstable as I thought I was. Maybe I don't feel the most secure, but hey, I'm still affording my life and I'm still taking care of myself and saving money. Like, that's not so bad, Sometimes we can look at things and be like, this is really bad, but when we take a step back, we might realize it's not as bad as we made it seem. So I think for some of you Aquarians, you can be expecting that too. But yeah, you're going to be looking at situations completely different now. And you're going to be like, you know what? These challenges that I've been dealing with, they might not be so bad after all. And I definitely think that in terms of the challenges you're dealing with, you're definitely finding solutions here too, which is really, really lovely. Okay. I like it, guys. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and have a look here and see what the overall outcome is going to be for Aquarius. Jumping into May 2023, what's going to be the overall outcome here for Team Aqua, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And we have here the Hermit. Hermit card's also going to be followed up here with the Star, which is the Aquarius card. I love it, guys. Now, I did mention with the Hermit card here, if you guys need some space, don't be afraid to take space right now. If people have been mentally draining, take space from people. If work's been mentally draining, focus more on making sure that you're giving yourself time to rejuvenate and to be alone and to enjoy your own company. Whatever you can do to rest, it's going to be very important. I feel like this is going to be the biggest month to focus on resting your mental and rejuvenating your mental on top of your physical well-being, okay? Really, really focusing on those two things are going to create so much good things in your life, okay? So definitely try to focus up on resting and rejuvenating, super important. But regardless, the Hermit is the card of wisdom. Typically, when people start to take a step back and move themselves out of a negative perception and be a little bit more neutral, we start to see a major difference. Here's a really good piece of advice real quick, guys, before I continue forward. look at what you're going through and imagine it wasn't you going through it, but it was a friend, somebody you really loved going through your situation. What advice would you give your friend if they were going through exactly what you were going through? And if that advice is different and positive and beautiful, why don't you take that advice for yourself? You know, we always will see our stressful situations and be like, oh, well, we deserve it or whatever. We'll splurge a bunch of negative bullshit. But if we were to talk to a friend, we'd be so loving and so caring and so compassionate for what they're dealing with, right? So you can start that practice where it's like, start talking to yourself and giving yourself advice as you would give a friend with your situation. And I think that that will help out a lot here too in making a major difference as well, Aquarius, okay? Now, I do want to mention here with the star card is the card of alignment. The star card is the card that says, listen, no matter where you are in your journey right now, I want you to know you're exactly where you need to be. So Aquarius, coming into the ending of the month here, I think that in terms of wisdom, something you're going to figure out is like, I am exactly where I need to be, and I am on track to where I want to go. And that's good, and I'm happy. And you know what? Negativity made me see red. I kind of lost sight of where I was and what it is I planned. But now that I moved out of that energy where I was so lost and so warped and wrapped up in negativity, I can see clearly again of where I want to go and that it's really not so bad after all, you know? So beautiful, guys. I love it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And I love moments of clarity like this because I've gone through that tons of times in my life where all I saw was red, okay? I used to be a very, very angry person in my life, and I used to feel like the universe is always against me and all life does is throw struggles at me, and all I ever saw was red. I never saw a positive situation or a positive outcome, you know, until I went through my transformation later on. But regardless, it's really amazing when we take a step back sometimes and we look at our life, and instead of seeing red, we look at our lives with compassion and love and positivity, and suddenly your life feels like you're having a whole different experience than in comparison to when you were in hell, that lower vibrational state, you know? So beautiful, Aquas. I love you guys. I hope the reading helped out for you today. Happy to see the transformation. Keep up with it. Hopefully some of the things I explained to you guys, the different techniques or ways to look at your situation can help out for sure. If you are new here, definitely do consider subscribing. I'd be more than happy to welcome you here into the Soul family. So thank you in advance to anybody who subscribes. And of course to Aquarius, if you don't want to miss out on that spring sale, feel free to use code POPPIN once again, POPPIN, for 20% off of a 15-minute personal reading with me. You can find that on my website, which will be the first link in the description below. All right, guys, have a lovely day, have a lovely May, and I will catch you all in the next video. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.